Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to be here. Whether you are a potential customer or an existing customer, welcome. I hope you will come away with from the presentation feeling empowered and informed about the tools we use as programmatic traders here at Beeswax and how these tools can empower you to become a programmatic trader as well. So before we begin, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. I am Zhi, Senior Programmatic Trader at Beeswax. I've been at Beeswax for a little over 2 years now. And fun fact, I am Beeswax's first trader. It's been a very insightful and rewarding experience thus far. The trading team has grown from a team of 1 to a team of 3. And trading at Beeswax has allowed me to grow significantly as a professional. In these 2 years, I have learned a lot about technical products and information that I was not exposed to in my previous jobs. And I will be sharing with you today 2 tools that are crucial to being a power trader. Like most programmatic traders, if you are one, I am responsible for crafting campaign strategy, analyzing campaign performance, and executing optimizations in the platform. I also act as a consultant to existing and potential customers on how to trade programmatically using our Beeswax platform. And prior to joining Beeswax, I was a campaign manager at a DSP called Drawbridge. And previous to that, I was a programmatic trader at Zaxxas, which is the trading desk of Group M. So during my tenure at both companies, I traded in pretty big DSPs and gained a lot of experience in managing large volumes of campaigns. And believe me, when managing those large volume of campaigns in those DSPs, there were no easy tasks. It often required a lot of manual trafficking and manual updates to hundreds of line items, which led me to wonder, is there a better way, a more efficient way in managing these campaigns? What kind of solutions are out there? What is beyond the typical standard DSPs? I wanted to find out. And 2 years ago, I got lucky and found my current position here at Beeswax when they were just looking for their first trader. And here I am today. So today we're going to go first outlining some of the most common trading pain points that I personally have experienced, and I'm sure many traders have experienced too. Second, we are going to explore the Beeswax solutions to these pain points, and spoiler alert, the 2 solutions are the Buzz API and logs. And then we're going to dive into how these solutions have helped me become a power trader. And last but not least, we're going to leave some time up for Q&A. And by the way, the Beeswax API's name is Buzz. We really like our bee puns here at Beeswax. So what are some of the common programmatic trading pain points? The first is, as traders, we are tasked with managing large volumes of campaigns and line items, and it takes a whole lot of time to set up and manage them. Even when traders have tried their best in setting up campaigns correctly, there's bound to be mistakes. And the second pain point is that traders are bound by the out-of-the-box reporting provided by standard DSPs. Don't get me wrong, we have that here too at Beeswax, and it's called the query tool. While it is a great functionality for quick and easy reporting, it is somewhat limited in what it can provide. Pre-configured reports in query tools and other DSPs are oftentimes very one-dimensional, and traders aren't able to freely combine reporting fields that are in different separate reports. I'm just kind of exhausted just thinking about it. But luckily, the solution is here, and the 2 solutions are Buzz API and logs. So some of you may have seen my LinkedIn post about this webinar. I said in the post, prior to joining Beeswax, I had no clue what APIs and logs were. And you read that right. 0 knowledge about these 2 things. So I spent my first 2 months at Beeswax learning and getting up to speed on what they are and what opportunities they can unlock. And this is a very important point to make because most people who don't have prior knowledge about APIs or SQL are very quick to dismiss these two tools because of the steep learning curve that's oftentimes associated with them. And they might think that the API is for people who are more technical, so people in product or engineering. And SQL is, for advanced data analysts, but that is actually not true at all. While you will have to devote some time to do some independent learning, it is important to keep in mind that learning how to use these tools will make your life as a programmatic trader a lot easier. And not to mention, you'll also gain a very valuable and transferable skill set. So it's completely doable. And just doing some exploring and learning by myself, I applied what I learned in sandbox environments. And I got very familiar with the API through lots of practice and making numerous API calls. And believe me, there were a lot of trial and error. Third, I asked lots of questions. Beeswax is an organization that is full of knowledgeable professionals who are very willing to help. I oftentimes sat down with solutions consultants and other technical folks who are very kind to have spend time with me to answer questions and teach me how to use these two tools. And they oftentimes gave me tips and tricks that I wouldn't have learned just learning by myself. And lastly, I just knew that it was going to be a continuous learning process and that it was a worthy investment to make. So you're probably thinking, all right, okay, Zhi, you've said Buzz API several times now. What is it? API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's basically a set of rules that allows programs to talk to each other. But why is it important and relevant to traders? It is important because it allows traders to access data within the Beeswax platform programmatically. And when traders set up hundreds of lines, leveraging the API to set up campaigns and line items can save hundreds of manual clicks in the user interface or in the UI. And traders can also leverage the API to manage large volumes of campaigns more efficiently. So in summary, the benefits include reducing human error, saving time for more value add work, and simplifying the QA process. And I just wanted to show you guys an example of how I have done that in the past. So this is a very straightforward example of a script that I used when setting up 24 line items within a campaign. And in this script, I bulk created multiple objects within the line item endpoint, such as budget, daily budget, CPM, start and end date, and frequency cap. I usually line these objects up in a Excel spreadsheet and just copy and paste it into the body of the bash script here that you see. And it makes life a lot easier because I don't have to click through the UI to manually create everything that otherwise typical traders and other DSPs may do. And a second example is using the API to associate multiple creatives to multiple line items. So I've had to handle a pretty large campaigns that have over 50 line items with various creatives. And I was able to just line them up in an Excel doc, and I can just copy and paste that into the script here, lining up the line item IDs and also the creative IDs and just associate it via the API. And it was done within minutes. The third example is an update example. So when traders are trafficking campaigns, they ultimately have to manage it. So they're able to leverage the API to manage these bulk updates. In this case, I was able to use the API to bulk update the total budgets and the daily budgets. And it also allows for users to modify campaigns and line items and targeting within the API within a matter of minutes. And this is all to say that the API really empowers traders to do a lot more value add work and not spend time on just trafficking campaigns and dwelling on, the minutia of setting up large campaigns. And now we can spend time toward more valuable things such as campaign analysis, in-platform optimizations. And also it just makes your life happier as a trader. And now jumping into the second part of what Beeswax can help is logs. And what logs can help you do, you can basically leverage logs to dive into granular insights that otherwise out of the box DSP reporting would not provide. So there are three main types of logs. There are bit logs, win logs, and conversion logs. And at Beeswax, traders are empowered to create our own reports as we see fit. While there is Query Tool, if you remember me mentioning that early on, which is the out-of-the-box reporting system that we have at Beeswax, we're also empowered to explore and create multivariate reporting using logs to inform our in-platform optimizations. So all this is to say that logs are really easy to manipulate. You can pull whatever reporting you as a trader want. It is transparent and you can tailor it to each and every single campaign that you're managing. And it's really insightful. And now that I know, if you're familiar with logs, you probably know that log level data ingestion takes a lot of time and effort and overhead to get started and manage. So this is why we built our new product called Antenna, which leverages our partner Snowflake to easily share and distribute all customer log data. Our product manager, Tyler, actually did a webinar back in June about this product. And if you're interested, I highly encourage everyone to check it out and see what the buzz is about. And here's just an example of how we use log level data at Beeswax as traders. One area I have found to be particularly insightful is using SQL to analyze user reach and frequency. This is a type of query that helps answer questions around like how many unique users did my campaign reach over a specific time period of the campaign. You can take this query even further and figure out how many impressions were needed to generate a click or a first conversion. So as you can tell now, like log level queries can provide some really powerful insights and at a very granular level too. And traders can make these queries as specific to examining one campaign or one line item or multiple campaigns or multiple line items. In more advanced cases, traders can focus on querying logs, on figuring out, like the characteristics of converted users. So there's tons of things you can do in querying logs. And traders are empowered to create custom queries here at Beeswax as they deem as necessary. So some of the common reports we as traders here use are impression frequency amongst converters, and you can even feel free to combine various dimensions such as bandwidth, which is whether it's Wi-Fi or 2G, 3G, 4G, and app bundles and app IDs. So you can combine them and see if there's any powerful insights you can take away to inform your programmatic buy. And the second reporting is auction type, environment type, and creative. So you can see if there's any relationship between if your buy is more efficient or more performant in first or second priced auctions, or environment types being, is it a PC or is it a mobile or a tablet? Or, if you're running multiple creatives, you can also add that into your report to make it that much more granular to see if there are specific pockets of performance inventory that you would like to explore more. And, these are just a few of the combinations that we do that I've just presented to you. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what log level queries can provide. And in summary, I just wanted to kind of drive home these 2 points, that the Buzz API is not reserved for product engineering. You know, someone like me who didn't have technical experience, I was able to do that. And I just had to take some time out and just to invest and do some learning on my own. And because I knew that these were invaluable tools and it was going to pay off over time, it was going to make my job that much easier. I really wanted to do better and learn more about that. And what we have found in our team is that traders who use these tools spend more time on what matters most, and those being campaign analysis and optimization. And the second point here is, you know, we can all dig deeper with logs. Using SQL to query logs provides insights that you won't be able to obtain in an out-of-the-box reporting. And these insights really allow for more robust understanding of your campaign performance, and therefore empowering you to become a better trader by identifying these powerful optimizations that you can implement in platform. So that's it. I hope that my presentation helped encourage you to learn more about the Buzz API and what logs are all about, as I have personally found them to be very game-changing, and it's been such a great tool to have in my day-to-day as a programmatic trader. And if you guys have any questions, love to hear them.
Yeah, definitely. And those who do want to ask a question, feel free to submit them. Like I said, bottom of the screen, QA thing. We do have one question. What is your advice for somebody just getting started with the Buzz API?
Yeah, it's just know that it's going to be a learning process, because if, you know, depending on your technical skills, if you are somewhat familiar with what an API is, then you'll probably have a better time getting started. But if you don't, like, don't be despair, because it's something that once you get the hang of it, you'll get the hang of it really quickly and you'll know what to do. One of the few things that helped me the most is getting started with the Buzz API docs that we have. We have a pretty robust documentation on our API, and I think it's been a really great tool for me to just read through it. And I've actually heard from some customers say that, like, our API docs is pretty organized and really robust in documenting what the API endpoints are and what they can and cannot do. Certainly read up on that. And also there are tons of YouTube videos about how to get started on the API, and just, you know, like, definitely take a look at them. And I think those are like great starting points. And, you know, if you're ever interested in getting started, you can also reach out to us as a trading team. My email is just z@beeswax.com. And we'll kind of, like, you know, give you tips and tricks on how to get started.
Yeah, and I've gone ahead and sent to the chat the link to our docs page. That's docs.beeswax.com. So look at the chat, you'll see, you can click on it as a link. We have another question. Outside of Udemy SQL course, any recommended sources for gaining a better understanding of SQL?
Yeah, you know, like, learning online by yourself is always a great thing, but you always have to, like, put that into practice. So just not be afraid and just, you know, apply what you learn in real life, and just crafting SQL and just kind of like apply what you learn into the query and see what the results are. And you can always kind of like manipulate it. And the other thing I like to do is we have, you know, product engineering also creating these SQL queries. So I like to take a look at them and see how they like to do it. You know, just to kind of get an idea of, oh, you know, like, there's different ways of approaching it. For example, there's, you know, ways of like creating temporary tables, or if you want to build a nested query, like, you know, there are merits to both, but depending on how you find, you know, which is easier to you and how you understand SQL, looking at actual SQL queries and kind of digesting them for yourself is also a very helpful tool to do.
All right, and with that, we'll wrap up. I want to thank Zhi for joining us. Again, her email is zhi@beeswax.com. If you have any further questions that you forgot to answer or ask her, you just want to get help getting started. And again, our docs are available at docs.beeswax.com. And thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time on 15 Minutes with Beeswax. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.